Issues. Malaria is one major disease that has killed and continues to kill millions of people daily. This has continued to generate a lot of concern for Nigeria and other countries around the world. About a month ago, the United States successfully came up with a malaria vaccine. Our focus on health today looks at what this breakthrough means for Nigeria.
Malaria is a life-threatening disease caused by parasites transmitted through mosquito bites. Stagnant water and dirty environment can also lead to malaria infection. Going by the World Health Organization's report in 2010, malaria caused an estimated 660,000 deaths with an uncertainty range of 490,000 to 836,000, mostly among African children. Understanding the burden of this disease, the federal government is working to reduce the death rate associated with malaria.
So far, since 2010, we have distributed almost 60 million long-lasting sectorial kitedness in all the states of the Federation and the FCT. And we are currently working on introducing a nationwide treat, test, and vaccinating. But that will follow after consultations with the governors.
More funds have been provided nationally and internationally to combat malaria. More techniques are available to us, and there is more acceptability of the strategies in place. We are moving away from attempting to control it to getting rid of it in its totality. That is progress in our plans. So now we are moving away from just controlling, limiting to total elimination of the parasite in our shores.
Tackling this disease is not only Nigeria's business, as the United States recently conducted an experiment with new malaria vaccines which proved to be safe and can generate an immune system against the malaria parasite in healthy adults. But here in Nigeria, some doctors are not excited about the development.
When this new scheme, that there's a new vaccine that possibly will help us to eliminate malaria, I was not too enthusiastic, because knowing fully what has happened in the past. In the late 80s, there was a vaccine developed by a scientist called Malaria. That vaccine was effective, up to 70% efficacy on the field. After some few months and years, the efficacy dropped to less than 20%. So, and the question is, why so? Why? A vaccine is a very expensive venture. It's a very expensive venture, a research venture that is being taken outside the country where malaria is, unfortunately, outside the country where the malaria is not a major problem. The investment of the United States government on vaccine run to billions of US dollars in the last 20 years. Research generally is very expensive. And we do not, that culture of investing into research has not come to play in the country.
Right now, there is no vaccine for malaria. There's no vaccine to protect us against malaria. We should develop our herbal medicines from around us for treating malaria. If we are waiting for people in America and in UK to develop medicines for treating malaria, then we are jokers, because malaria is not their problem. Malaria is our problem.
Dr. Jinadu is hopeful that Nigeria will soon come up with their own version of the malaria vaccine.
The malaria vaccine will start off very expensive, except subsidized or donated. And therefore, one expects that the developed world would be the first beneficiaries, the first set of beneficiaries on a large scale. But our children, especially the under 5s, are in need of that vaccine. And of course, those who are immunosuppressed, those who have cancers, the elderly, might be next.
After all said and done, what remains important is that we keep our environment clean as much as possible so that we can avoid being infected by the parasite.